And here's just why the entire trial, so to speak, and the court proceedings against Hafiz Saeed, the mastermind terrorist who will be free at this time tomorrow, have been a complete sham. Justice, the Pakistani Punjab government had sought an extension of detention. The truth is, the legal procedures are just a delaying tactic. The Pakistan government has refused to give. Not a single shred of proof has been provided in the court so far. The truth is, the legal route is simply to fool the world, simply to buy time, simply to pull wool over the world's eyes. Hafiz Saeed has emerged from court to mock India. He even put out a video just after that announcement, because the truth is, there is full Pakistani cover for Hafiz Saeed. He is completely a VVIP protectee in that country. 2611 mastermind and Jamaat-ud-Dawa chief Hafiz Saeed, Pakistani citizen, totally protected by that country, walks free tomorrow. A Pakistan court lifted Saeed's house arrest just 4 days before the Mumbai attack's 9th anniversary. Well, this after the Pakistan government could not or would not provide any evidence against Hafiz Saeed. While seeking an extension of Saeed's house arrest, a Punjab official argued that the failure to extend Saeed's detention could invite international sanctions on Pakistan. Here's the full sordid story that could end with that man, and nobody will ever forget his face, walking free tomorrow.
Just 4 days before the 2611 carnage anniversary, its mastermind smiles again. The butcher who is responsible for the death of 166 innocents will walk free after a sham 10-month house arrest. It is the true face of a rogue state failing to deliver justice. The state sponsor of terror can't cry victim anymore, as its biggest sham is finally exposed. Pakistan's Punjab government had on Tuesday produced Saeed before the Judicial Review Board and sought for a 3-month extension of his detention. But it was only pulling wool over the world's eyes. After Pakistan government refused to provide any evidence as to why Saeed was put under house arrest, Lahore High Court lifted the house arrest. And as soon as he emerged from the court, the terror boss mocked India.
जजों ने मेरी रिहाई का हुक्म दिया और हुकूमत के जितने कारिंदे और वजारतों के नुमाइंदे ये सब आकर ये कह रहे थे कि इनको रिहा नहीं करना, लेकिन जजों ने उनकी तमाम बातें सुनकर उनको रद्द करके अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मेरी रिहाई का हुक्म दे दिया। मैं समझता हूँ ये पाकिस्तान की आज़ादी की फतह है और इंशाअल्लाह कश्मीर भी आज़ाद होके रहेगा, क्योंकि मैं कश्मीर का केस लड़ रहा हूँ और कश्मीर की वजह से इंडिया जो है ना जी वो मेरे पीछे पड़ा हुआ है और सब मेहनतें कोशिशें उसकी रायगां गई, नाकाम हुई.
Despite 15 dossiers that India has given to Pakistan as proof of his link to Mumbai terror attack, Saeed is a free man. The founder of Lashkar-e-Taiba, Saeed has orchestrated multiple attacks on the Indian soil, including the 2001 attack on the parliament and the 2006 Mumbai train bombings. In 2011, India declared Saeed one of the most wanted terrorists, and in 2012, US announced a 10 million bounty on his head. Remember, Saeed nurses prime ministerial ambitions, having recently floated his political outfit. Once free, the most wanted jihadi will use every tactic to bleed India. With Hamza Amir in Islamabad, Bureau Report, India Today.
And just in case anybody needed reminding of all the things on this man's resume, his terror resume, let's take you through it. Hafiz Saeed is an unambiguous designated global terrorist. That's basically his recognition, that's his identity right now. His organization, the Jamaat-ud-Dawa, forget about the Lashkar-e-Taiba, the Jamaat-ud-Dawa itself has been banned. He plotted the 2611 attacks. There is solid proof. Dossier after dossier has been submitted by India. He is the brain not only behind 2611 but also the 2006 Mumbai train bombings. Also, he masterminded the 2001 Parliament attack. He is currently on India's National Investigation Most Wanted list. So it's not just us making up that name. He is definitely, literally India's most wanted terrorist. All right, we're joined now live on the newsroom, diving straight into our big debate. We're joined live from Islamabad by Pakistani security affairs analyst Qamar Cheema. Also with us, we have with us Lieutenant General D.B. Shiketkar, one of India's best-known security analysts. And with me here is Gaurav Sawant, executive editor, a person who covered 26/11 along with me 9 years ago and who's been tracking the entire case against Hafiz Saeed. I want to go across to Qamar Cheema first. Mr. Cheema, this is a day of infamy as far as Pakistan is concerned. I mean, for a country that has dilly-dallied and spoken in a forked tongue as far as Hafiz Saeed is concerned, are you seriously telling the world now that this is a man that's going to walk free tomorrow?
Well, I think, let me tell to your audience and the international community at the moment that it was Pakistan government's policy decision to put Hafiz Saeed in detention, and for the DGSPI has been on board for that. One thing. The second thing, the Pakistan and as a complete board that was sitting in the Lahore High Court, and they decided that the government does not have evidence, so there is no point having Hafiz Saeed in detention. So I think at this point what is needed was that had there been any kind of an evidence.
No, I don't get it. I don't get it. You're saying it is. No, how can you qualify what has happened today by defending it with the fact that it was Pakistan's policy initiative to put him into detention? Gaurav, is there any sense in saying that at all?
These are half-truths and absolute lies. You know, this is how Pakistan peddles a false narrative. Yeah. What is he saying and what is the Pakistani state saying? No evidence against Hafiz Saeed. The fact is, no evidence produced in court against Hafiz Saeed is pimped as no evidence against Hafiz Saeed. Yes. So there is a mountain of evidence collected by Government of India, collected by the Government of the United States of America, and collected by the Federal Investigation Agency of Pakistan that directly links 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, the 10 terrorists to Hafiz Saeed, but none of that evidence has been produced in a court of law. And it is India Today, on India Today, A.K. Dogar, Hafiz Saeed's lawyer, he said that for the past 9 years, Pakistan has produced no evidence in a court of law. So no evidence produced in a court of law is different from no evidence against Hafiz Saeed.
Gaurav, you know, and we're going to play out Gaurav's conversation with A.K. Dogar in just a moment. But Gaurav, before I go to General Shiketkar, I want to ask you a very simple question. Since 26/11, Gaurav and I reported from outside the Taj, outside the Nariman House, as well as outside the Trident. We were there. We covered that terror attack for India Today. Since then, Gaurav, there has been a number of dossiers that India has submitted which has clinching proof against Hafiz Saeed. Now you're saying that the Pakistan government hasn't even submitted any of that proof in court and is using that to say there's no proof. Am I right?
Absolutely. You've hit the nail on its head. India gave evidence. Ajmal Amir Kassab said he'd met Hafiz Saeed, but that is India saying so, right? I was there in the Chicago federal courtroom in Chicago. David Coleman Headley told the FBI that Hafiz Saeed was directing him. Hafiz Saeed was in that control room in Karachi, and Abu Jundal, that other terrorist who was caught, he said Hafiz Saeed was there. So there is independent corroborative evidence. Voice samples. If Pakistan was serious, Pakistan would have provided India with voice samples.
Yes.
Independently, India has confirmed that, but since Pakistan does not provide voice samples, it cannot be produced in a court of law. So it's a sham trial for 9 years. Pakistan pimps lies about Hafiz Saeed. It peddles a false narrative, and unfortunately, because no one counters Pakistan with facts, its half-truths and absolute lies becomes the narrative.
And remember, this is a man we're talking about who's a globally designated terrorist. This is not a joke. This is not about Dawood Ibrahim or somebody who, you know, people haven't seen for a long time. This is Hafiz Saeed, who Gaurav, we've had our reporters actually travel to Pakistan and see their live rallies where they abuse India, where they talk about jihad against India. Gaurav spoke earlier to A.K. Dogar, the person he was speaking about. Here's that exclusive conversation. He spoke first to India Today.
On what grounds is Hafiz Saeed being released from house arrest, sir?
Sir, this is it is a review board which has after examining the entire record against Hafiz Saeed, they have recommended to the government of Punjab that Hafiz Saeed should not be detained any longer because there is no material against him, there is no evidence against him. Anyone who is kept under custody, it is only when he is found to be acting in a manner which is prejudicial to the public safety.
Sir, but if I may, Mr. Dogar, if I may, did the Pakistan government produce any evidence whatsoever against Hafiz Saeed?
No, sir. That is a simple answer is no evidence whatsoever was produced against Hafiz Saeed.
So after the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, the Federal Investigation Agency of Pakistan carried out an investigation. Was that evidence produced in a court of law?
No evidence was produced. Many a time court had been telling the federal government and the provincial government to please bring anything against him and we will recommend his detention. But government failed to produce any evidence.
Oh my God, this is an eye-opener. So Mr. Dogar, you are saying that Pakistan government has never produced any evidence whatsoever against Hafiz Saeed in any court of law in Pakistan?
That's it. You are very right. Even then too, in 2008, when he was detained, no document was produced which could be said to be sufficient for his detention. Even now, no evidence, and he continued to remain under detention for about 10 months without evidence.
So what you've just heard means that even by Pakistani standards, what has happened is an epic subterfuge, epic duplicity of a country India has never trusted anyway. But this is proof of just how rock bottom things are as far as Pakistan's stand on terror is concerned. Gaurav, $10 million bounty by the United States. You were there in the Chicago court. We know that David Coleman Headley specifically and explicitly testified that this is the man who was in the control room when the attacks were taking place. Let's just put all that proof aside just for a moment, because I don't think you and I can ever argue about the fact that India has proof that Hafiz Mohammad Saeed was behind 26/11. What now, Gaurav? If this man is going to be out there, he's going to get back to his old tricks. He's going to travel to the LOC. He's going to get those terror camps back in action post the surgical strikes, etc., etc. What is the government stand right now?
So officially, government of India hasn't reacted. But Shiv, as you very rightly pointed out, why has Pakistan done this? Look, the United States Department of Defense put a lot of pressure on the US Congress, because US Congress had said that Pakistan needs to take demonstrable, credible, visible action against Haqqani network and Lashkar-e-Taiba, and only then will they get financial assistance from the United States. But US is looking after American national interests, so they said only take action against Haqqani network, forget Lashkar-e-Taiba. So Pakistan is off the hook as far as India-centric terror is concerned. So that is why Hafiz Saeed is coming out of jail. The moment he comes out of jail, remember, the entire top leadership of Lashkar-e-Taiba in Kashmir has been wiped out. So he has to boost the morale of his terror cadre in Kashmir. The moment he came out of jail, or he's about to come out of jail, he's issued a statement, a video statement, where he's saying, I will continue to fight for the Kashmir cause. So what is happening is, Hafiz Mohammad Saeed will once again revive terrorism in Kashmir, and there are intelligence inputs that talk of a massive terror attack, perhaps in the Gujarat elections or elsewhere in India.
Right.
So that is what Pakistan wants to do, shift focus away from Afghanistan, bring the focus back at the LC. There's been a massive terror attack today, where operation and firing is going on even as we speak.
Yes, that's right. In two places, in fact, on the line of control, there are terror attacks taking place. Kamar Chima is back with us. I hope we have that line clear. Kamar Chima, is it not true? I mean, how can you possibly deny the fact that what has happened today and what will happen tomorrow is basically demonstrable evidence that in Pakistan, terrorist is Bhagwan. Terrorist is higher than everybody in Pakistan.
Well, I think what you are saying, this is journalism, and what's happening in this country is that, you know, when the courts do not have the evidence, is how the courts can indict a person.
Is that the Pakistani government didn't submit the evidence that India submitted?
Listen. Look, when Indians talk that they want to mainstream the freedom fighters in India, Similarly, in Pakistan, we want to mainstream the militants who have been involved
$10 million
in activities
bounty.
in the past.
$10 million bounty by the United States, Kamachima. Forget about freedom fighters. $10 million bounty.
What is coming from the United States is not the final verdict on anything.
Well,
the United States is not the final reality
Pakistan,
on anything.
Pakistan
so whatever is coming from the United States is not a final reality.
Pakistan survives basically because of United States. You guys are honestly saying that they're not the end all of that?
We are surviving because of our own capability.
Gaurav,
the Americans didn't help us against. We built the nuclear
weapons
ourselves.
Kamachima says that they're trying to mainstream militants.
Nobody helped us.
Does that apply in any way to a person like Hafiz Mohammad Saeed, for God's sake?
So Hafiz Mohammad Saeed is actually going to contest elections in Pakistan.
Yes.
Kamachima may be doing a sajda to Hafiz Saeed as Pakistan does to all terrorists. Hafiz Saeed tomorrow may be their foreign minister or God forbid their prime minister.
I will not
Pakistan
be doing a sajda
in the times to come. That is how disgusting the situation is in Pakistan. And because Hafiz Saeed put up Kamar Chima put up candidates in recent elections in Lahore against Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, and they got candidates. Their candidate, won votes.
If this is not a sajda for terrorists, whether it's about you or whether it's about the Pakistani system or your courts or the duplicity of the political system that ignores all the evidence that's been submitted by India, how is this not a sajda to terrorists?
Well, I think this is you are playing to the gallery, to your own masses to tell, look, this is what you're talking. We have seen the terrorism,
It's amazing.
We have seen the terrorism incidents in our country on daily basis.
No,
do not tell us that
nothing personal against you, Kamachima, but this victimhood that Pakistan plays on terrorism is something that most people laugh about. I don't know if your own citizens laugh about it as well.
Okay, your victimization.
Your victimization is it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You can talk about.
Isn't it laughable as well?
This rhetoric might be spun. This rhetoric can be spun in many fora. It will never be spun in India. Certainly won't be spun on India today, and certainly will not be spun as far as Hafiz Mohammad Saeed is concerned. General Shiketkar is with us also, thankfully. General Shiketkar, what is this? What is this? How would you describe this level of political systemic duplicity from Pakistan? I know you're not surprised because you're a military man, General Shiketkar, but what do you think India needs to do right now? I want to start thinking forward. What should be India's move, sir?
Yeah, firstly, let me tell you very clearly and to our friends, people like Hafiz Saeed are the strategic assets of Pakistan.
Yes.
They are the deep assets. Pakistani establishment has invested very heavily on them. They have outsourced the foreign policy and defense policy of Pakistan to the people like Hafiz Saeed and other people that are there. Okay. Since we are talking of Hafiz Saeed, I will consider it on that only.
Yes.
I know him for a long time, very, very long time, maybe about 30 years since today. Okay. Therefore, I have my serious doubts if Pakistan government will do anything against this fellow.
Correct.
In fact, this house detention is all a facade. The Pakistani establishment protects him. They pay for it. They ensure security under the garb of so-called house arrest or detention. Thirdly, any country which can declare 10 million bounty or whatever it is, it makes no difference to these people. The reason being, as a student of military science, hasn't got that country who has declared the award on this fellow for last 7 years, 8 years, 9 year time has not found one drone to hit this fellow. Do I believe it?
No, does
they can kill anybody anywhere they want.
Yes.
Next point is...
Yes, no, I get your point, General Shiketkar. Yeah, I'll come back to your second point in just a moment, but I want to ask Gaurav, taking up on that. This is all a sham. Pakistan is never going to act against its deep cover assets. It has invested so much in people like Hafiz Mohammad Saeed. It's silly for India to expect any kind of action against them by their courts or by their political system. What does this mean, Gaurav? Does this mean that if we are to close the chapter on Hafiz Mohammad Saeed, it's something that we have to do ourselves? Do we have to take matter into our own hands? What are we talking about? Is this a deep cover operation? Is this an assassination? What are we talking about here?
So what we're talking about is a multi-pronged strategy, and I've been speaking to my sources in the government. They've eliminated Hafiz Saeed's nephew in the Kashmir Valley.
Yes.
They've eliminated Maulana Masood Azhar's nephew in the Kashmir Valley. So all these terrorists in the valley are now being eliminated. They're being killed, which is what is happening at the line of control. Whichever post of Pakistan is pushing in infiltrators, that post is being destroyed, and that is why Pakistan is sending in its border action team, and that is why we see this friction at the LC. That will escalate. Then India is also going to build up global pressure. The Financial Action Task Force, that is where India will expose Pakistan. The United Nations is where India will expose Pakistan. And in every multilateral fora, what is Prime Minister Narendra Modi saying? Don't worry about Pakistan. We will deal with these terrorists. You worry about yourselves, because today Lashkar-e-Taiba is a threat to India. It's a threat to Afghanistan. Lashkar-e-Taiba has sleeper cells in Europe. Lashkar-e-Taiba, like David Coleman, Headley and Tahawur Hussain Rana, has sleeper cells in the United States and in Canada. Tomorrow these Lashkar terrorists will be a threat to the entire world. Wake up before it's too late.
So is this a case, Qamar Cheema, is this a case of Pakistan's reputation being so completely in the dumps globally that it doesn't matter to you anymore? You will concentrate on your people, you will concentrate on your terror assets. You don't care what the world thinks, because anyway the world thinks you are terrorist.
Well, I think this propaganda that is coming from India, that I think the world is not buying it, and the new legislation that has...
The world is buying it. The only people who are not buying it is Pakistan.
Understand, you are propaganda. This is your propaganda tactics coming from New Delhi.
It can be propaganda if it comes from the government. I'm a journalist. I'm a journalist. I'm asking you a direct question. I'm asking you a direct question. We've reported on 26/11. We know, Gaurav and I have reported directly on 26/11, Mr. Cheema.
Must be mainstream, so that the violence, if they are violent, must be mainstream.
This makes me wonder if there is anybody in Pakistan who is not part of the actual system. That's what I end up wondering. I'm sorry. This Pakistani sajda for terrorists, as Gaurav rightly put it, is beyond comprehension. They're saying that the world is not buying it. The world says it. General Shiketkar, as a military man, you know, if you've taken a view which is, in my opinion, a very practical view, saying why do we even expect Pakistan to take any action against Hafiz Saeed? Gaurav says there's a multi-pronged, calibrated strategy. As a military person, sir, what would you say the government needs to do if the target is we have to finish this man?
The government will do, and government should do what the government is required to do. And I am very sure, I am very certain the government will do it. My only request to our people across the Pakistani territory is, do not provoke India beyond its threshold of tolerance. You will have to pay very, very heavily, very dearly. My next submission is, our next point is, the government India knows very well that nobody else can fight our war. We have to fight our own war.
Very true.
This is a war of proxy. This is a cross-border terrorism, and we have to handle it. Nobody can handle it. There's a philosophy of warfare that you cannot outsource your security, you cannot outsource fighting of your war. So we'll have to do it. And if we have to do it, we'll do it in our own way.
Yes.
There's no point telling them what we'll do. I'm sure they understand. Next point is, none other than the Foreign Secretary of the United States said, if you keep snakes in your own courtyard, wait, they are going to bite you.
Yes.
Let me assure you, just wait for another 2 years and look at the way the Hafiz Saeed is going to treat Pakistanis. They will not know what to do with him. They will be hit so badly.
I think, yes.
That they will not.
You've made it very clear, General Shiketkar. I think there is a great deal of clarity this evening. After going back and forth with Pakistan about this issue, Gaurav, I think there's one piece of clarity, and there's some solace in that clarity, that the ball is now in our court.
Yeah.
It will be done at a time and place of our choosing. May not be tomorrow, may not be next week. We will do it on our terms, using our assets, using our resources. We're going to leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much, Gaurav, General Shiketkar, Qamar Cheema, for that fruitful discussion. And Hafiz Saeed. Remember, when Gaurav and I report from here tomorrow at this time, Hafiz is very likely to be breathing free air in Pakistan. Don't you just hate it when your flight is late and then you find out it's because some neta didn't board the flight on time or there was some VVIP protocol? Well, that's actually precisely what happened today in Imphal. That's the tourism minister of the country, and he's being heckled by a woman whose flight to a funeral in another city was held up because of VVIP protocol. Here's the full story.
No, just you give me in the written. Give me written. Please, please go away. I am older than you and at a higher post than you. Don't talk to me.
Helpless and distressed, this woman's outburst at Imphal is symptomatic of what many ordinary air travellers have to go through at airports.
I didn't give even the application. I left as such.
The passenger's patience ran out after her flight was delayed for over 2 hours because of VVIP movement. That's when she vented her anger at Union Minister KJ Alphonse, who happened to be at the Imphal airport.
The body is wetting, otherwise body will degrade. I am a doctor, I know body will degrade and it will smell. It is still at my home. I have to go.
The minister's attempts at trying to pacify the passenger, a doctor, was of no help. All she wanted was to reach in time for a funeral. And for that, the passenger demanded a written guarantee from the minister that her flight would leave. But the minister was in no position to give that assurance.
Once the flight lands, then this flight will take off.
You give me the written form.
I have no other...
Alphonse said that he is not to blame. It was the movement of the president's plane that led to the delay. India Today has learned that while the Indigo plane was not allowed to take off, a special charter carrying ministers, including Alphonse, was permitted to land, even though the airspace was closed.
This time, it was stuck between common man's emergency and the protocol system. After the voice raised by a common man, it was perhaps the common man who made the difference. With Jeet Nengomba in Manipur, this is Manogya Loiwal in Kolkata for India Today.
And we've got some pretty disturbing breaking news breaking late tonight on Newsroom coming in from Chennai. As a matter of fact, violence has broken out inside Chennai's Satyabama University, where students, as you can see in these pictures, have resorted to arson. They're burning items and property on campus after word spread about a girl student committing suicide there. News has spread that this woman student was caught while copying in an exam and committed suicide, sparking violence on campus. As you can see, students have taken matters into their own hands and they've been burning down property on campus. Raga Maunika, a first-year computer science student, committed suicide by hanging herself after being reprimanded on campus for copying during an examination. Let's go straight across now. Joining me live from Chennai on this big news break from Satyabama University is India Today's Pramod Madhav. Pramod, take us through the details. Raga Maunika, student, apparently killed herself by hanging after she was caught copying in an exam, and that has led to all this violence. What's the latest? Take us through all the details, Pramod.
Well, Shiv, this is like an absolute... Well, this is an absolute shocker for anybody from Chennai because, as you know, any Chennaiite would know what kind of university Satyabama was. It was almost pictured as one more separate university where nothing indifferent or illegal would occur. And in that university, we got this news about what happened there when this particular news about a girl who committed suicide came out.
Re-establish that link with Pramod. I'm asking our producers to get him on the phone because this is a big story from Chennai and we're going to get back to Pramod in just a moment. But I just want to take you through these images. Satyabama University is a very well-known, big girl and boy university in Chennai, multidisciplinary university, very well-known. Students from all over the country come to Chennai to study at Satyabama University. These images coming in from the city show that students have set property ablaze on campus after the suicide of a student identified as Raga Maunika in the first year. She was apparently caught copying and reprimanded, after which she is alleged to have hanged herself. Let's go straight across now. Pramod is back with us. He's on the phone line. Pramod, take us through the details.
Yes, Shiv, you actually know that any Chennai would know what kind of reputation this Satyabama University had and the kind of certification and no chance of any illegal activity over there, and the students were extremely disciplined. The kind of notion that was given about Satyabama University, and everyone was totally shocked to see this kind of arson inside the university campus. The students were involved are considered to be those from Andhra Pradesh, and this girl, Raga Maunika, the first year computer science student, was also from Andhra Pradesh, and she committed suicide as per the explanation given from the staff, and that she was caught while cheating on examination, and they yelled at her and apparently being depressed after what she had to go through, kind of like which she took it as an insult to be yelled at in front of all other students. She had committed suicide. This is the kind of explanation that's been given to us. Her body still at Roypeta GH, and listening to this kind of news, the students have they could not control themselves anymore, and that is why they have resorted to arson and all the kind of activities. And this is not the first kind of situation that has occurred over in Chennai. This is the second student's death in the past 10 to 20 days. The earlier one was of one of that called Prakash, a Kavin College student. He also committed suicide because of extreme pressure from the department, and this is becoming kind of a routine in Chennai.
Pramod, what is the situation currently on campus? Have things been brought under control? I'm sure the police must be on site right now, but what is the situation currently on campus?
The major damage occurred to the buildings where the hostel was there, and the students who are involved in this activities considered to be the students who are residing inside the hostel campus, and the police did arrive at the place. The problem broke out around 8:30 p.m. and that is when the students came out and they started burning things. And nobody was actually aware that this kind of thing would happen because it was Satyabama University and it had its own reputation of how the students were High Court controlled inside the university. And anyway, the police was informed. They did come over there. The fire service also informed. The situation for now is under control. Still, many of the students are claiming that those who are responsible for Ragamalika's death should be punished, or else they will not go in peace with whatever that is happening inside the university.
The girl Ragamalika, who apparently committed suicide, was a first-year computer science student. Her body is currently in the Royapeta hospital, you're saying, in Chennai right now. Pramod, do we know where her family is? Has any complaint been filed? Has the police questioned anyone at the university over this suicide? When did it take place? Can you give us those details?
The suspicious part is that the suicide of this girl has occurred around 4:30 in the afternoon, but no news got leaked about what exactly happened inside the campus. Because Satyabama, as I again reiterate, this is how they work. Nothing comes out or goes inside Satyabama campus, and they have tried to keep it very amicable. But as the dead body reached Royapeta Hospital, that is when the news has broke out and it reached the students inside the hostel. Apparently, the day scholars were not present at that point as they had left already for home. And around 8:30, as the news broke out about the students, they had, some of them have also witnessed what Ragamalika had gone through when the staffs were yelling at her. And that is when one said to other, this happened and that's the reason she committed suicide. That is how the actual room of fire broke out, and that is how these students began to started to burning items. And as you could see in the visuals, it entirely became like a riot location. That is the kind of expression we can provide of this place. However, Ragamalika, as I mentioned, as of now, we know that she's from Andhra Pradesh, and they are waiting for her relatives to come over. And this is the much information we have about the student for now.
Okay, Pramod, stay with me. We're going to try and get across to the Chennai police. We're going to try and get in a voice to find out about the latest. We're also trying to reach out to officers and officials at Satyabama University for more on this developing situation. Ragamalika, a first-year computer science student at Satyabama University, a prestigious institution in Chennai, committed suicide about 4:30 this afternoon after being caught copying or cheating during an examination, allegedly. She committed suicide by hanging, and that has sparked what you're seeing on your screens right now. Very disturbing scenes from the campus of one of Chennai's most prestigious educational institutions. This is the Satyabama College and University campus. It's a co-educational institution, and many students have apparently taken matters into their own hands and set property on fire. The precise details of how this began, what property has been destroyed, is not known just yet. But as you can see in these images, there are many students filming the violence with their mobile phones. This happens to be one of the buildings on campus that has been set ablaze. Pramod, are there fire tenders at the location along with the police? Do we have any other details like that?
Yes, sir. As and when the cops were informed, also the fire tenders was also informed. But the problem is that this Satyabama University is already almost 20 kilometers from Perangudi, which itself is 15 kilometers from the Chennai's limits, and so like almost 35 kilometers the cops had to go there, and also the fire attendants and everybody, and from there they have to go inside to the hostel. It takes another 1 kilometer, and it's like after 6:30 it's a very dark place, and considering all these things, and as the students were violent also, they wanted to bring in proper force so that they wanted to like avoid any more kind of unnecessary or unlawful activities, because the students were extremely angry. And as you could see in those visuals, they would need to like burst out in anger at any point. But yes, the cops were able to bring everything under control right now, and they have like spoken to the students, and they have said like they have promised them like appropriate action will be definitely taken. And for now, the students they are also looking for the relatives also. In any way, this seems to be like a major breakdown of communication between the staff and the students that has led to this action, because never before this kind of thing has been reported in Satyabama, though I'm very sorry to say that even last year a student committed suicide in Satyabama, but that did not bring out this kind of like student activity over there.
Because Pramod, stay with me for a moment, because we're going to stay on this story. These are exclusive images that only India Today has at this point. Pramod has broken the story on India Today, and that's why you're seeing these images only here on India Today and nowhere else. These are disturbing images coming to you from the Satyabama University. We've had a chance to look at some of these pictures, and they suggest that the fire service is also on the spot. There are, of course, students. There's a riot-like situation there, which appears to still be pretty tense. The campus appears to still be pretty tense, but the police is on the spot and trying to defuse the situation. Students have taken to open arson and violence. Pramod continues to be with us. He's broken the story. We're also joined by Deputy Editor Priyamvada, who's with us from Chennai as well. Priyamvada, you've seen what Satyabama campus in Chennai looks like. It's a famous university. It's very well known. People from all over the country come there to study. What have you heard about this developing story? Because these are some of the most disturbing pictures we've ever seen from a Chennai institution like this, Priyamvada.
Absolutely, and that's from Satyabama University, which is known for discipline. In fact, there have been many stories that have come out how students are made to sit separately, girls are made to sit separately, and boys are made to sit separately. Respect rules, but this is like a huge setback for the institution developed by India's right-hand man KTR. However, my sources are telling me now management is trying to pacify the students. Heavy force of police was being brought in, and many hostel students have been asked to leave the campus and go back to their respective places. A holiday is likely to be declared after the post-mortem of this girl, which is going to happen in Roypeta tomorrow. The body will be released to the family members. This is the latest bit of information we are hearing about this incident.
This is very scary. Priyamvada, stay with me. Pramod, I know we don't have the exact details just yet, and you're still trying to get them. But what happened to this young girl? What happened to this first-year student, Ragamaunika, that she committed suicide? The information you've given us is that she was caught copying during an exam. Was she punished? Was she humiliated? Do we know what happened to her?
Well, so the thing is that, like, when it comes to Satyabama, they don't go easy with any kind of mischief or any kind of like illegal actions, and they students who are like extremely they take care of more of discipline for students. Sometimes it has gone way out of control. That's the reason Satyabama has a kind of like an odd reputation when it comes to Chennai and any other colleges. And this student who is being alleged to have cheated in her examination. This is what from the management side they're getting as an explanation, that the student cheated on her examination, and for that she was she was punished. Punished in the sense they just say like verbally punished, but from the students' end they claim that she was yelled upon brutally, and like she was completely insulted in front of other students, and that is what something Ragamaunika could not accept, and that is what these students claim had pushed her to kill herself by hanging herself inside the hostel. And this is the kind of information we're getting it right now, because the incident occurred at 4:30. The students resorted to violence around 8:30, and we got information. These are like fresh information to us, and still the cops have gone to think for now. We're getting more information that everything is under control. The doctor said that they have resorted to talking to the people. They have brought it under control, and tomorrow when the relatives come over, they will provide more details.
Okay, Pramod and Priyamvada, keep tracking the story. Thanks for getting us that news break here. We will continue to track it. Very disturbing scenes from a university campus in Chennai that's well known for a huge amount of discipline. We'll continue to track that story. Our condolences to the family of that young girl who so tragically has taken her own life over being caught copying in an examination at Satyabama University.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.